Welcome back to another episode of The Canon. I'm your host, Terry. Today we're doing another Oscar nomination breakdown in the category of sound editing and sound mixing. We are going over to the technical side of the Oscars, so real excited. We're going to do these both together because the sound editing and sound mixing categories have the exact same nominations. So, we'll just go through and then we'll kind of break down the difference in the two. So, number one, we got Baby Driver, the Edgar Wright special. Baby Driver, getting nominated for sound categories. Not really shocking due to how much music is, used in the movie. And then not to mention, car sounds as he is a getaway driver. How well that was moved in and out of the movie as far as Baby listening to his music while we listen to it and, going away whenever he wasn't listening to music, things of that nature. And then, like we said, the car chases, all that. And then we got some gun shootouts too. So a lot of, stylized, action in that movie lends itself to some really good sound. And then the opening credit scene alone with the music on the walls and stuff was just amazing. So definitely not shocked as far as its chances of winning either of these categories. I think so. For me, I think a lot of these movies have a pretty decent chance of winning. I would say sound mixing more than sound editing, then just because the full package together. Because it's music, you know what I mean? So it's not like they had to create that music already existed. So, but putting it together in one package, I think was more impressive. So, I think it's got a pretty decent chance. Then we go Blade Runner 2049. Blade Runner, you know what? I mean, I'm a little surprised, I guess. Not too much. I think visually Blade Runner is really strong. I think the whole experience itself is immersive. The sound isn't something that I really thought about. I mean, you got the score and, those classic sounds there. But the sounds that kind of in the movie isn't something that caught my attention first. So, interesting. But I still see why, because it is part of that package that was so, immersive in the movie. So I can understand. As far as his chances of winning, I think it has a little bit of a slim chance, because you're going up against some real heavy hitters that I think were better with, the sound. I think Blade Runner was better with the visuals. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it won, but I think it's more of a slim chance. And then we go to Dunkirk, the Christopher Nolan. And so, that's, it's any war movie is going to have a chance to be nominated because, the gunshots and the sounds of, the weaponry is always going to be, really highly valued with the Academy. So, and then you got a movie like Dunkirk that was all about the visuals and the sound and being, immersed into the movie. So, no brainer that Dunkirk was going to be nominated. And it's honestly my favorite right now to win both. We'll talk about a little bit later about winning both, but I honestly think it has like the best chance to win both because that's kind of what the whole movie was about. And that movie did a great job of sucking you in, and that sounds, especially if you saw it in IMAX, man, you can't deny that. Then we got The Shape of Water, which is interesting. Again, once you got those kind of beautiful movies, they tend to get all the technical nominations. And there's definitely there's a lot of elements to Shape of Water with the music. There's the sounds from the creature and all those different things. But again, that's not the first thing I thought of with Shape of Water when thinking about nominations. I still think it has a good chance because it's an Oscar darling. And there's some legit chances that you get sound editing just because of what they had to do with the whole creature and all that. But I think it's a legit chance, but not my favorite. And then we got Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Definitely not shocked. Star Wars. The thing though with Star Wars is that a lot of those unique sounds that we associate with Star Wars have been created before. They've been there. And so it's kind of like a rinse and repeat. Now there's new things that you put into there. There's, new different droids or whatever. But overall, that's what we associate with that amazing Star Wars sound kind of has already been created. So maybe I would lean more towards mixing than editing, but this is my second favorite to win next to Dunkirk. Just because it's Star Wars, man. That you can't have Star Wars without those sounds, without that score, without the beeps and the lasers and the lightsabers. So it's just, it's tough to count Star Wars out, especially how well it did. So, so those are the 5. So kind of working backwards here. Sound editing versus sound mixing, which I always get confused. Editing is creating the sounds. So like we said, the gunshots, the lightsabers, the car sounds, whatever, and this is where you hear all the cool stories about these sound editors going around and finding different random things to make sound with that they then turn into the sound of practical things in their movie. And so those are always fun. But then sound mixing is the actual putting together the sound and making it sound right and stand out and putting it in the movie in the right place. So those are the two differences. I would say a lot of times movies get nominated for both, but it's not always the exact same list. So that's the interesting part this year, is that it's the exact same nominations, which kind of makes me feel like there's going to be a different winner for both categories. But at the same time, in my heart, my gut reaction is that Dunkirk is going to take both of them. And this is probably the first category where I don't really have any pressing replacements. I mean, I look at this list and those are definitely the ones I would go with. I can't think of anyone on this list that I would bump off to put another movie in. I'll put it that way. So I'm actually pretty happy with these nominations that everybody kind of got the pick of the litter. So I'm trying to look at it and tell you if I could distinguish between the two categories as far as a favorite. But yeah, like I really do think Dunkirk is the favorite in both. And besides Baby Driver, which again was more so putting good music and putting it to the whole movie, I don't know that any of these other movies kind of stick out for one category or the other. The one movie I guess I would kind of wonder about is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just because we know how well the sound was with Guardians of the Galaxy. But again, I wouldn't bump off any of these to put that on. So anyway, go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Who's your favorite? Do you have any snubs? Do you know the difference between sound editing and sound mixing? And let me know. Go to the comment section. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around. If you heard it, here's official canon.